What's going on, guys? This is the True Red Politician here, and we're going to be talking about the primary happening in Louisiana for Senate in May 16th. By the time I upload this video, tomorrow will be May 15th, but it'll be basically a day or two from now. And we're going to be talking about Bill Cassidy's primary, and it is not looking good for the guy, and rightfully so. This guy's a RINO, and he is the heart of the establishment. This guy is big pharma. This guy is bought and paid for by big pharma. This guy's a clown. And again, he kind of, I believe, back in Trump's first month in office, he threatened not to vote for certain Trump's cabinet members for some reason, because again, he's just the establishment. This guy voted along with John Cornyn in Texas for red flag laws. I mean, this guy, it's just ridiculous in a Trump plus 20 state. And again, the biggest crime of all, he voted to impeach Donald Trump. He was the impeachment 7 in the Senate and the impeachment 10. We'll get to them here in a second. But again, he's part of the impeachment 7. And again, if he would lose, he'd be the 5th Republican senator to voted to impeach Trump to be gone. Now, again, Susan Collins, again, she's in Maine. She's in the blue state. I prefer her over Plattner, especially against Plattner. So she kind of gets a pass. And again, I think Lisa Murkowski in 2028, even with ranked choice voting, she's going to be going against a pretty strong Republican governor in a primary. I think even if it's still there, I think she goes down. I think she's on borrowed time. So 2028, I think Lisa Murkowski is going to go down, which means 6 out of the 7 are gone. And again, just look at the fundraising, by the way. Bill Cassidy, I'll admit, he has the establishment, he has money. But Fleming, Letlow, they're definitely not short on cash. And again, Letlow has that Trump endorsement. That is massive. And again, this is where it starts getting really bad. Look at the polling data. It is awful. She is doing it. He is doing terrible. And Fleming, Letlow even, she's doing solid. Some of the polls show, Letlow kind of, I guess, stagnating, especially in the last few weeks, which I think is kind of fair because, again, she's not really campaigning too much. She's just kind of running on the Trump endorsement, which you really can't do in a contested primary, especially with a third candidate, Fleming, who I think is better on the issues, even though Letlow is not bad. Letlow is a B tier. Fleming's an A tier, and Bill Cassidy's an F tier. He's awful. And Fleming, Letlow is, again, a B tier. So, again, not too bad, but you look at some of the polling data, it is not looking good. Qantas, yeah, that is rough. That is rough. It is not good. Even where all 3 candidates, Cassidy at 20%, that is awful. That is awful. And even on all the undecideds go to Cassidy, he still loses and he has to go into a runoff. That is terrible. Terrible. And again, Fleming at 55, wow, that is rough for Cassidy. Even with all the money he has, he's still struggling to hit 30% in a lot of these polls. That is horrific. And again, even if he survives round 1, he's going to have to go into a runoff with a Trump-endorsed, most likely a Trump-endorsed candidate. That is not going to go well for you. And again, if you're John Cornyn in Texas, even though you're a RINO, you can at least say, well, I was in a tough spot. I got to do this, then the other. But the vote to impeach Trump, that is just the death coffin to your career, man. At least Cornyn didn't vote to impeach Trump, and that might save him. I think Paxton isn't guaranteed to win, even though I think he's slightly favored. And again, I think if Paxton gets that Trump endorsement, it's over for Cornyn. He's definitely losing. But again, just to go to show how much the Overton window has changed for the GOP, and for the people to say, the GOP hasn't changed, because the GOP isn't perfect. Far from it. But this is to show that the GOP has changed, and especially since 2018, 2017, again, we went over the senators who are gone, but this is the impeachment 10 who voted to impeach Trump after J6 in 21. 5 out of the 10 retired, even though all 5 of them were definitely going to lose their primaries. Nearly all of them that retired were going to lose their primaries. That's why they retired. Number 2, it's I think nearly all of them lost. in 2022. They're either going to retire or they lost. And the only two that survived the 2022 midterms was Newhouse and Valadeo. And even then, I think Valadeo is going to lose re-election in California, even though I do think that impeachment vote will help him with like disillusioned like liberals who aren't like super woke but don't like Trump. They see him as like a principled Republican or whatever. And again, Newhouse in Washington, he just retired, even though he was definitely going to lose his primary. He's going to get crushed. That's why he retired. So again, 9 out of the 10 who voted to impeach Trump are gone in basically 4 years. Out of the if Cassidy goes down and Susan Collins goes down in 2028, boom, within 4 to 6 years, 6 out of the 7 lost. They're gone. So again, and it just goes to show how much the GOP has changed since 2016, 2017, and even 2022 even. And again, the GOP, the Overton window is shifting in our direction, which is a great thing. Even though it's a slow moving process, you can get there. So, and again, just go over some of the RINOs who just retired from this election cycle are probably going to lose as well. Thinking Cassidy in Louisiana, Texas as well. Tom Tillis, even though some people will say, oh, it's an open seat, Michael Whatley isn't campaigning, which he started to do a little bit. I do think Cooper is probably going to win that Senate seat narrowly in North Carolina. But let's be honest, Cooper was going to beat Tillis no matter what. Like, Tillis was atrocious. He was pissing everybody off. And also, he's a historical underperformer. He barely won in 2014. 2020, he won because like there was a scandal about the guy. And even then, he only got 48.5% of the vote. I mean, the guy's an underperformer. He would have lost to Cooper no matter what. So, again, I don't know. We'll see with Whatley in North Carolina, but if he does win, that's a massive upgrade because Tillis sucked. Mitch McConnell, he retired. Literally bottom 3 Republican senator. Absolutely awful. And again, Andy Barr, he's kind of a McConnell clone. I have problems with him. He's not that great either. But again, I see him as like a C-tier Republican senator who vote in line with Donald Trump on nearly everything, even though he's kind of a McConnell clone. So again, it's kind of an L there, but again, I think Donald Trump, hopefully he cut a deal with Nate Morris and he endorses him against Rand Paul in 2028, kind of similar to, what Donald Trump did in Ohio with Bernie Moreno. He said, okay, Bernie Moreno, if you drop out, I'll endorse you in 2024. Let J.D. Vance be this Republican nominee for Senate. And again, I think that's exactly basically what happened. And wow, definitely a great decision. Obviously, especially if J.D. Vance is now possibly running for president in 28. And again, Iowa, Joni Ernst, she isn't awful, but she was becoming kind of a liability. Like, messaging was awful. Like, she was just awful on messaging. And again, threatened not to vote for Pete Hegseth for principled reasons. I mean, she was just an idiot. And again, just shows that the RINOs, they're leaving, they're retiring, or they're assimilating. And again, I think a great example of that is Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. I don't like Lindsey Graham. I think he's a neocon. I don't trust him. But he's like a RINO who's willing to behave and is willing to somewhat assimilate. So, again, a big win there. Again, it's not perfect. Republicans, there's still a long road ahead of replacing and getting rid of these sore losers, these RINOs who suck, but it's definitely possible. And again, I think Bill Cassidy, is going to go down. Could he survive to a runoff? Yes, he could. He does have a lot of money, but money isn't everything in primaries. Well, it definitely is a lot in primaries, but if you have a Trump endorsed candidate who has money, it's probably over, especially you voting to impeach Trump. That is like just the biggest thing that's going to hurt you, and your excuses for it are piss poor. Like, they suck, they're not good, and it's pathetic. So anyways, guys, this is the True Red Politician signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Later.